Yes.
Well, guess what, Jordan? Welcome to the Mansfield Buzz. Perfect timing. Well, everybody, hello and welcome to the Mansfield Buzz. And every 3 months, what we like to do is Jordan and I like to get on and catch people up on some technology stuff and having fun with our stream and getting kind of laid back and just talking off the top of our heads. And, we don't have any questions planned, Jordan, or anything, but we want to welcome Jordan and myself to your two hosts for the Mansfield Buzz. Jordan says he has a surprise for me later. We'll find out what that is. But we also been messing around with technology. But let me say this: we are the Mansfield Buzz, and we cover local businesses in the community and the surrounding communities. And of course, we are located and streaming right now on our main stream, which is youtube.com at Mansfield TX Buzz. But right now, this is also shown on LinkedIn, and it's also streaming over to our Facebook group page. So we're real excited. And we're still, Jordan, hitting 1.72 thousand views, and we're still averaging 48 to 52 hours watch time. And people are really, I had two people come up to me yesterday after the gig was over and say, man, we just found your stream. We're just digging this. We've been back listening to shows, having fun. Y'all are funny. Y'all are make the customers feel good. How can we get on this? So, we're now booking. I'm booking 2 more people for the end of April, and we're looking at May. So I'm really excited about this. So, all right.
That is so nice. Like, that's happened to me too. It's like, aren't you're in the Buzz, right? It's like, oh my God, yes. Yes,
yeah. So it's getting some legs, right? It's getting some sea legs. So anyhow, today, Jordan and I are just going to talk. We could talk marketing. We're going to show you some stuff. But one of the things I thought, Jordan, might be interesting to show folks. And oh, by the way, let me go through the format here just a little bit to make it look like we're staying on cue. If you want to be on the Buzz with us, if you're a business owner, Mansfield surrounding area, that's my business email. Just put in the subject line Mansfield Buzz, and I'll send you details and send you some open dates, and then you guys can pick one, and we'll get with you the week before. But go ahead and get it booked, because like I said, we're in May right now. So, all right, Jordan. So let's get into our icebreakers if you're ready, and we'll do our sponsor, Liberty Tax Defenders, and we'll be right back. Wow, what happened? That was quick, but who cares? All right. So confession. I am trying. So we're trying. StreamYard keeps. Look, let me go back up. OBS Studio was kind of the open source code that we all use when we were streaming.
I don't know what OBS Studio is.
Yeah, so it's open source studio, but it's similar, but it's real sophisticated. It's technical, but once you learn it, it's really cool because you can have all your scenes set up and playing simultaneously next to you while you're talking, and it's real simple to move around. Well, StreamYard just added some scenes too, and so I'm practicing them, and I have no idea how they work because the tools aren't really clear what you do on the left and what shows up at the bottom. So we're playing with this. So just so you know, but anyhow, let me do this. Let me read about our sponsor. It is libertytaxdefenders.com, by the way. And I think what I'll do is I'll put that before I read this. There we go. We are Liberty Tax Defenders, your premier tax resolution firm. We work every day to help hardworking Americans keep more of their money out of the hands of overzealous bureaucrats. We help our clients solve problems with back taxes, unfiled tax returns, payroll, and trust fund issues. We also negotiate payment plans and offers in compromise that are favorable to our clients, as well as represent clients who are under audit before the IRS. In addition, we help clients navigate tax issues such as employee retention credit, as well as providing CFO consulting tax preparation accounting services. We have successfully helped our clients over 2 million.
2 million.
And change that and assess taxes and penalties. If you find yourself under audit and owing back taxes, please do not hesitate to call us 817-995-5008 or visit our website libertytaxdefenders.com. So there you go. So really cool. All right, Jordan. So you said, because you're the first icebreaker today. So you said you wanted to surprise me with something. So
yes.
Tell me about it.
So I've been, as you know, people who watch the show know, experimenting with AI generated music.
Yep.
Now, first level is when you go in there and tell it, make me a song. But what people don't realize is you can actually go in, and this happens. I should preface, this happens at the paid subscription level, so you have to pay to play. But it unlocks tools that allow you to write your own lyrics, modify and edit the song. So why not just play with that and just get creative? So for you, I got this today. Made by computer.
I love the beat.
To Mansfield, Buzz, Jordan, Hurdie in the mix, spotlighting local stories. Every episode's a fix, unearthing unique gems, what makes them shine.
Awesome.
Tune in, get ready, we're diving into their grind. With Jordan's questions, we reveal what's at the core. Hurdie's tech wizardry, bringing stories to the fore. Together we create.
Let's play that several times today, Jordan.
Mansfield Buzz, where content creation sleek, calling all business owners and customers to the scene. Discover authentic gems, find the best you've ever seen.
People aren't listening or missing out.
Behind each unique
That's
space.
really good.
Trust in their stories, find community in this place.
Here first.
And the truth be known, we've done another one for one of our guests, and I've done one for my storm chases. So it's pretty fun. I love that. That's awesome.
Oh, this is great. I love it.
Yeah. So, so how long did it go through your process with that? Because a lot of people, do content and, maybe this is something we can add to our packages where if you come and get a package from us, maybe for an extra blah, 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 we can give them a theme song with their stream.
Yes,
to me, it just makes sense because you did one for, go ahead and Susan.
We made one.
Draw a blank. The family attorney in our group. Susan, anyhow,
baby mama.
You created one for her, right?
Yes, I did. I'm trying to remember what it was called.
I got it. You ready?
Yeah.
Turn in. So you did this one through AI too for our guest. I just
family law. When baby mama dramas got you stressed, I'm the tactician who handles the mess. I play 3 steps ahead like chess on the board, turning chaos to calm and keeping you floored. No bulldog tactics, just sharp, steady moves. Courtroom control with nothing to prove. With strategy tight and your goals in sight, I make sure you rise day or night when it's time to play smart and win it all.
I still enjoy.
I'm the name you call. Turn the baby mama drama in the league going fine. Susan Smith family law. When baby mama drama's got you stressed.
You even put her name in there. That's awesome. All right, so we got that. Now let's go up to my video. Here is my On the Road song that I created in AI. We're just showing you some stuff for storms. So it's a video clip. So sit tight. Here we go.
Chasing the sun, got a 6-string rhythm and a heart on the run. Wind in my hair, yeah, I'm feeling so free. Just a lone soul searching where I'm meant to be. inside. Turn it up, don't slow down. We keep.
Okay, so Jordan, that's it. This is we're gonna have to add this to the package. I think that every guest that comes on, we need to come up with an extra amount because there is a little bit of money tied to having to create these, but to give them their own song.
You can walk out of here with your own theme song. Yes.
No kidding. And give them a week after it's over, and we'll post it and play it and put it in all the network groups and everything. So we'll think into that. But what do you think? Cool? Yeah.
I love it. So let's go through the process a little bit.
All right, let's do, because I'm good. Yeah, go ahead.
So how do you make AI tracks? You start with, I think first of all is the brand, right? Like you got to know what the business is. I mean, and this is creating AI tracks for business. Hey, there's another Ryan Hall fan over here.
Yeah, Kevin loves them. I love them. But there you go.
So making AI tracks, start with the business and write out what you want the song to be, right? Like think of like, what do you want to talk about? Possible, I don't know, key points about it or things that you want to talk about the brand. Just make it generic, right? But just put it all down, word, what they call it, word vomit.
Yeah.
Into a document. Then take that document, feed it to ChatGPT, and then be like, hey, take this information about this business and make me a song. And then ask it to do it in whatever kind of song you're trying to create. Take whatever it gives you back and then go to a website called Suno, SUNO.com, or you can do a Udio, which is studio without the S. Those two are music generation software. You can feed it lyrics. And I know in Suno, you can actually use the custom song feature on the trial version. And I think you get maybe 4 high quality generations, and then you got to go to the free model. So you go in it, drop your lyrics that ChatGPT made you, and then just give it direction on what kind of song do you want. So for example, for the Mansfield Buzz one, I wanted to give me a mixture between like Hurdie and I. So what I asked it for was to create a rock, country, hip hop mixture.
That's great.
To create
That's
the song.
good.
And then you just go through generations and just kind of keep tweaking until you get something that you like. And I mean, it's surprisingly good.
I wanted strictly rock and roll, man. So that's what I'm doing. But here's the thing. Even if you don't create your own lyrics, you can kind of ask it, give it kind of parameters of what you want it to say and say, but include my name, and it will find a way to come up with lyrics based on your theme and your story. But better yet, if you have some ideas for lyrics, write them down and just let it create the song around them. It doesn't even have to be, okay, we got a beat after this one or a downbeat after this. Just put it in. Let it and give it several shots. It's awesome. That's so fun.
It's pretty
That's so fun. Yeah. So
to add some like unique content that you could not do this before AI, right? Like custom music.
No, studio. Yeah.
We used to do that for McDonald's all the time, actually, because believe it or not, it was actually cheaper to commission a song than it was to license a song.
Yes.
With McDonald's, we would actually go to studios and pay them to make us custom music for it. But again, like this is crazy expensive. And if McDonald's couldn't pay to license music, imagine a small business. Like no way.
Yeah, and that is the beauty of some of the AI tools, right? I mean, here we have 3 songs. You just made this one up. I can't believe it's got to play this again. We get more people listening in, but that was so fantastic. I was not expecting that, by the way. Thank you for that.
Oh,
but so also what I've had some inquiries, Jordan, and I'll let you ad lib on this a little bit because you were kind of new to this scene when I invited you to be a host with me because I just thought we'd be a great team because I'm hyper. Well, as they used to say, Donnie used to say he's a little bit country and he was a little bit rock and roll. She's a little bit country, right? Whatever. Laid back versus type A personality. It's a good mix.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is that back in the day, it was really difficult to stream. It really was. And so now this thing's automated and I'm getting a lot of questions from people that have seen the buzz asking me, is this something I could do? And what looks complicated to them, maybe with us switching between banners and songs and everything, little bit of learning curve. But would you say this is fairly easy from the standpoint of you just jumping in with this at the beginning stages?
Do you want my honest answer?
Yep.
I think there's no way somebody's going to figure it out on their own.
Well, I know that, but
But I think you have a really good way of explaining it. You know, like I didn't know what OBS Studio was. And then I started looking at it and I was like, what the hell is this? I mean, that is and it throws all these like technical terms that if you want to like do like, man, I didn't know what the hell was going on.
yeah, I know.
You invited me to StreamYard, and as I started using this, it's super manageable. So I think when you learn how to use it, the learning curve is much smaller. Like I still don't, I mean, now that I know how to use StreamYard, I still wouldn't know how to use OBS. But now that everything gets in a rhythm, I think it'd be so easy for somebody to do it repetitively. But I think they might need some hand holding at the beginning. If I'm
Well, and I would say this: if you have somebody that can be on with you, if you're kind of nervous about being on your own, because talking on your own sometimes, having somebody bounce off you is really cool. But the fact that you can be virtual, meaning you don't have to be in a studio to do this. Hey, everybody'd like to have a full-fledged studio to be in, right? But the thing that makes this beautiful is we're connected. You know, Jordan's 10 miles away from me, sitting on his Wi-Fi. I'm sitting on my hardline cable at the house, right? And literally we're streaming to YouTube and 2 other destinations. So, you know, from somebody that says, I need to be an expert in my field, I want to be known, I want to brand myself, what a better way to do this, right? And we could teach them how to do it. That's my point.
Oh, yeah.
We should do. We've been talking about throwing a class, right? We should sit down and do a workshop on this. And if anybody's really interested in creating their own stream, we can show them how to get started.
And
I don't
you
know.
you hit on something that I think is, I mean, it's something that I tell clients a lot is, you know, for those of you that have worked with me or know me, like I push content, right? Like everybody should be doing content because that's what we do. That's how we communicate as humans. If we're not talking to telling stories to each other face to face, we're doing it on the internet, right? Through social media. But a lot of people struggle with getting in front of a camera. Camera's freaky, right? I mean,
Camera fear is a big deal.
This little thing right there up on your face, like, I don't know why people get so freaked out, but you brush this out and people freeze. You be the most eloquent person and you put a camera in front of them and they just become the awkwardest person in the room.
My name is. What is my name?
But an interview setup is so easy to do.
Yes. Can be.
Yeah. And that's honestly, that was my road on it because I wanted to get better working with my voice, being more comfortable being in video. And so when you asked me to do the podcast, I was like, yes, absolutely. I'm working on getting better at that because I've never done this.
Been really good at it. Yeah, I mean, I think we've both come a long way on it. I had broadcasting years and or for quite a while. I've done some recording stuff and put it up, but the fact, you know, we're getting better at it, so that's good. Yeah. So what I think what people need to know is big screen TV is now on YouTube being watched more than on mobile devices. That just crossed over about a month ago. Ooh. So the reason I'm trying to talk to businesses about letting us start a class and maybe getting 10, 15 people involved, maybe make it a afternoon 4-hour work session, you know, depending on schedules, maybe a Saturday. But the thing is, you know, we could get some comments on that. That would be great. Kevin's already talking to us. Yeah, that's true. It's true too. But, you know, the point is a lot of people are spending a lot of time on YouTube and other apps on their big screen TV watching content. And by the way, I named Jordan, not Jordan Hough, but Jordan Content. That's I call him JC now.
I like it.
So his nickname's JC, Jordan Content Hough. Okay, because that's all he talks about. But that's really cool. I mean, it's really true too. So that's the beauty of it. But the thing is that with people, I know Yvonne watches this show over, because she gets busy while we're on live. She goes back, watches on demand. She watches on big screen, and she loves it, and she laughs, because there's some pretty funny sessions in there, right?
I know I've had a lot of comments about our tree rats.
Yeah, the people were talking about that yesterday at the network group.
Tree rats,
roof rats.
By
the way, we had a pest control person on. We need to clarify that roof rats was not just a basic discussion.
Yep. But he let us know that is the most common thing, and they're everywhere.
And by the way, the fact we're talking about it has led people back to watch it.
Yep. That's true.
So his little short just from last week's got over 100 views.
Nice.
Right? And his big show's up to about 102. What?
Is it a segment about the tree rats?
Yep. Yeah. Well, no, I didn't put a segment on about that, but the fact that people start talking about it, I just said, well, go over and watch the interview because, the bed bugs is the one I put up for the short, right? And that's gotten a lot of attention. Mm-hmm. Take my word for it. So that's pretty cool. All right. So a lot of people have asked me, and I thought I'd talk about it today just a little bit, and you can show it off on your end if you like, if you have time, is I'm going to show this, and if you want to do it, that's fine. So people ask me, they go, okay, Hurdie, so when you're out in your car and you don't have Wi-Fi in your car, because I don't go out for Skywarn, but within 20, 30 miles of the neighborhood. I don't go across country like the big guys do. And so the big guys that are streaming their cars have Wi-Fi, honestly, through their car, but they also have Starlink, right? Because there's a lot of areas you just can't stream from. But anyhow, when I do go out local, and I know where I know I can keep my hotspot on, so I've got those areas down. So what happens is I've got this thing called an HDMI converter, and what it is, it's USB on one end, and then it's HDMI cable on the end, right? Just like that. But what makes this unique is this cable is specifically designed for a Sony. And so I'm going to open up my camera and show you guys that there's a slot for this on this Sony. It's plugged in. It goes in my computer, my notebook, and I turn on my hotspot, plug this in my notebook, and put this on the dashboard, and I can stream this live. It won't be great, but a lot of times when I'm local, I don't even stream with it. I just shoot what's in front of me and use my phone to stream on Facebook to show people I'm out driving around. But this works perfectly if you have a strong enough hotspot to stay local where you can get 5G or get the tower, right?
And that allows you to take the image from the camera to the computer.
That is correct, but I'm streaming it to YouTube because I'm using StreamYard, right? To go out, I'm using StreamYard on my computer, and it's streaming just like we are right now to YouTube. Exactly. So it's pretty cool. So we're giving people an education on if your camera's designed to handle.
If you can handle that, and you do.
If it has a connection for an HDMI cable, and also I have a wireless mic that attaches to it called Chemathon. It's about $50, and what happens is I can walk about 60 feet from the car and still be loud and clear on the computer streaming live. That's just really cool.
I got a tripod here.
Yes, you
flip that.
And Jordan's going to actually, I think, hook a camera up and show exactly how that works. So
I'm trying to follow along with you. So I got the camera.
Right. So you got the HDMI, right? Stick, and then you've got and you should have a special cable that's HDMI that has the connection. And then you got the dog. All right, the doggone show.
They're trying to kill they're trying to kill the Amazon guy.
Right. I just haven't pulled up.
It's the new mail.
And so the cool thing is, and then you've got the connection, specific connection to your type of camera. Okay. The thing we love about this, Jordan, do we just have too much fun?
Okay, so I wonder if this will work.
Now, I know that StreamYard will let you switch from camera to camera through your, you may have to go back in, out, and then back in and choose that camera.
Let's see.
Because it's not going to let you stream both at the same time. You're going to, there you go. Perfect.
Oh, God.
So you just did HDMI. Right. Now you're not perfect because you're on your Wi-Fi. Okay. And,
yeah.
But this is
my settings.
Right.
But that, I mean, yeah, this is my camera.
Right. Right. And this is the same thing that I do in the car on a hotspot.
That's cool.
Yeah. So you're doing exactly right now, streaming live back through StreamYard, back out to YouTube, right? So you could literally, if you had wireless mic set up, you want to go in the backyard and just talk or whatever, and there you just switch back. So how cool is that?
That's so cool.
And that's using your HDMI stick, correct?
Yeah.
And your converter. Right. These are like about $15. The high-end ones are probably around $35, $40. I invest in as much as you can afford because they are get what you pay for on these. So stay in the $40, $50 range on this.
That's what this one is, in case people are wondering.
Yeah, yeah. And if you even want to go a little higher to 90, that's fine. But don't get the $19 one or $15 one. I've experimented with those, and they just aren't that great. They overheat. They don't, they your computer's using a lot of processing power, so they get hot.
Live show with Chris.
Hey, bring him on.
I know, right? I said, would you like to step into the podcast?
So not only do we have the ability to stream out to 3 different destinations, we could also bring, and Jordan's out, put the dog up. We could also stream, not only have people watching this public on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook, but we could have a group discussion of like 10 people is the limit for the plan I'm on, that could come on and be virtually connected to us inside this studio, which is really kind of cool. From the standpoint is, if we ever wanted to have experts or businesses come on where they wanted to bring on, say, 3 people, maybe 3 of their executives that we're interviewing from a single business, we could accommodate up to about 8 more on the stream inside the studio that's virtual back to the YouTube stream where people can watch. So pretty excited about that. So Jordan, wherever you went, and we're getting thanks for watching, guys. We appreciate it. Like I said, we like to just kind of chat about this and make it laid back, because we've had a lot of questions from people how we do this, and we thought today, like every quarter, we just like to come on and talk about it. But anyhow, so a lot of people, this is an old camera. This Sony, just so you want to see it. And this is a handy cam. It's pretty expensive in the day, but it works like a champ. It's got external mic, external audio, and it's got the HDMI connection down there. So back in the day, it was like a $600 camera.
I have to sign for the Amazon delivery, so that I was still.
Yep.
We're going.
Gotcha. So I was just telling them that if we had a business come on that had like several executives, right, and they all wanted to be on the stream, we can accommodate 8 more people. We can have up to 10 people inside the virtual studio from different locations, just like you see on Zoom or something, right? And
check out the Halloween special. We
did the Halloween special, and we're going to do some more special. Yeah. So
it works.
So Jordan, what's your thoughts about the podcast thing, meaning from a content standpoint from how, because you are JC, right? You're Jordan content Hough. So the value of it.
Oh God. I mean, it is the best testing ground you can do, you know, with especially in your business, if you're doing a podcast and you do it once a month. I mean, we are ambitious with it. Once a week, every Thursday, like that is, don't think you have to do that because that is ambitious. Right. But as a business, if you're doing a podcast interview like once a month, you can really deep dive on, you know, concepts that your business has, and it will help you create content because this is being recorded. It'll help you know what resonates with your audience better. You can cut those interviews into different kinds of content that actually StreamYard will let you do. And it will actually, like, it cuts already vertical videos for you. And you could just push that out. So you'll get to practice. You'll get to understand how to structure better interviews and better content. You'll get to do it because you'll do it once a month. Like there really is no downside to it. I mean, I guess it's just the time, but I mean, it could be a 45-minute show, 45 minutes once a month to get your content game up, like no brainer.
Yeah. And you can become what I consider to be, I think the people that are online and people get to know them whether they've seen a show or not. Every time I go into a network group now, people are asking me about the buzz.
Mm-hmm.
How does that happen? Well, that's part of brand, right? I mean, that is brand. That is, I don't have to say a word for somebody to come up to me and say, I saw the Mansfield Buzz, I really liked it, or I thought the buzz was pretty cool. That's what I'm talking about, getting in front of people. And the more you're in front of people with content like this,
Mm-hmm.
the more you're going to build yourself as the authority, trustworthy authority, relevant authority on different topics, right? And so, yeah, so from a marketing standpoint, imagine that you're able to get on and give people great super information on a weekly or monthly basis that you can just keep regurgitating. So something you mentioned about StreamYard too, Jordan, I thought was cool is I don't think even we realized the depth of this thing until after we got started. And we realized that when we could record each individual that's inside the stream, right? Audio.
Yeah, that's such a good. Let me turn on my do not disturb because.
Oh no, that's fine. We're getting hit up on likes and hearts and stuff of that nature, and y'all can always say hi to us and comment. We like that. It makes us feel loved.
Yeah, you know, being able to capture each individual screen.
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah,
because you can then take everybody's content and, you know, just divide it. Because right now what gets recorded is what you see on the screen right now. So I'm here, Hurdie's here. If we were to move it around, you know, like this is what's getting recorded, right? Like it's almost like
it's just mirroring everything you're doing right now live.
Yeah. Now, if you do a individual capture, then all of Hurdie's screen that you see and all of my screen will be recorded separately, and my audio and Hurdie's audio will be recorded separately.
Right.
So, for example, there's a time where, you know, Hurdie's dropping some knowledge like he just was, and my dogs go nuts because that's a great example.
Because it's live.
Now you have dirty audio. Whatever he would like, whatever knowledge he was dropping, totally muddled. But since we're recording separately, we can take Hurdie's recording, which is a clean recording because no dog's there. They're on my side.
Right.
And we could use that instead of the loud mixed recording with everybody speaking. So it totally lets you rescue things that wouldn't otherwise work.
Yeah.
And again, this is all stuff you can use to create content, and it's so nice.
Yeah. So let's say I wanted to take a customer says, I'll pay you a little bit extra money if you'll just drop the audio into your own editing and pull my logo across the timeline at the top and give me the full version with just my logo on it, with us not being seen, right? And then now you have an audio of his show. You don't see our faces. That's the audio portion, but above it, I've dragged his logo all the way across to the end of the broadcast, right? And when I present that to him to do what he wants with it, he could literally put it on YouTube and it wouldn't be duplicate material because that logo is drug across the top. And now he has his own infomercial or his own. So there's all sorts of ways to play with it. And of course, you're creating short packages for clients, you know, after the what we call the after show, right? Jordan goes, hey, for this amount extra, we'll create you up to blah, blah, blah shorts and get them out where you can distribute them to Reels, to TikTok, to YouTube, whatever. So, and Sasha says, great show. We love Sasha. Man, I got to get a hold of him. I've got to put him to work on some stuff. So Sasha, thanks for checking in. There's an AI guy right there.
I got some automation.
We got some. Yeah, we need to get him back on too, and give him some kudos on that. So thank you for that. But the bottom line is that everything we do is stored in our library on the stream server in the cloud. And so I can pull audio. I can pull just the record. I can pull both. I can pull just the individual pieces, and Jordan can too. And this is why Gordon just goes like this every time we're done with the show, because he's going back now and going through all these shows and offering some extra packages to our business, right? When he has time and he's not super busy with our clients. So. Yeah. But they get the full broadcast.
And as a business, you know, if you're doing your podcast, that's a great add-on too. And I forgot to mention that is you get a digital storage where you can store your show. You can store everybody's tracks separately, the collected, you know, the stream track. You can have all the, you know, video and audio of it, and it's housed within StreamYard.
Right.
So you could just have it there. For example, how many gigs of data do we have now?
All right. So for $4.99 a month, I have 100 gigs. And we've been doing this a year. And a year in March, we finally got to almost 50 gigs. So, you know, an hour show is little less than, you know, so it's fine. I just like to stay ahead of the curve. So I went ahead and got an upgrade special. So I took advantage of it. So we have 100 gigs of storage space, not including what I can download to Dropbox if I want to download this, and which I've done. I have a backup on Dropbox of all our shows, all our audio, because I have about 12 terabytes of stuff over there. So I've got folders of all the backup. So yeah, I back everything up through Dropbox too. So yeah.
And to let's see. So then if you're a business and you're wanting to set up your podcast to create content and, you know, honestly attract the right kind of client, ideally they're going to be watching your content. So we do the mechanical portion, you know, like the setup, right? We get StreamYard, we get all this stuff connected. Then, let's cover, I mean, let's see how much we can cover, right? You're going to need at least a webcam. So a computer with one of these. If not, you can get what is the one you recommend, Hurdie?
Well, I like Logitech. If you're going to get one that attaches, and what it'll do is it'll ask you, do you want to use your webcam or do you want to use the Logitech? So it's a USB probably connection. And if you don't have USB, there's adapters that they give you. Now, Macs are a little different, Jordan. You're going to have to school us on this. A lot of them don't have the side ports that a laptop does. So there's probably some adapters that you might. And this is why we want to do a workshop, right?
Yep.
We want to bring cables. We want to bring cameras. We want to show you everything from start to go. And so
this is what you want.
So that's that exactly. And so
PC and then the USB port.
Yeah, because you don't have USB ports on the side of the Macs, right, and stuff. So it's a little bit different. But the bottom line is, that's to me. Logitech's fine. You'll spend a good Logitech cameras now somewhere in the 99 to 150 range, depending on how good you want it to be. I would not go any lower than that. I really wouldn't.
Yeah, and honestly, I would get the $180 one.
Or get the $180 one, which I need to do.
Yeah, and it give you much better quality video, especially if you're going to use it as a business. Like, you don't want to be too blurry,
right? Right.
So that will give you the quality that you want. And then next is microphones. You can go as easy as just throw some headphones on and that microphone works excellent.
Depending on your voice level and how you talk, you could use something like this. Now, today, I did hook up my Chemathon with a splitter. The problem is I didn't have time to synchronize it with all the different options on the Realtek. But I was talking through it, but I couldn't hear it through these earbuds because unfortunately this earbud it's not a Virgin. It's got a mic on it, so you couldn't make them. You couldn't hear because it didn't know what to do with it. So if I just had straight earbuds, all I had to do was plug them into the splitter and I could be on a nice lavalier wireless mic with great deep voice on this thing. So there you go.
Another thing I recommend, and make this
I like those. Yeah.
These are great and they're pretty
inexpensive. They're awesome.
It's called a Blue microphone.
Yep.
Hopefully this is not too loud. You have to just.
I didn't hear it. No, that's fine. But those are great microphones, and you can't go wrong.
Yeah, and it's set up right now on a audio stand, but they come with a really nice stand on its own. It just sits on your desk, and it gets phenomenal audio. It's a great investment, and honestly, if you're gonna drop the bank on something, invest in a good microphone. People will put up with grainy video. People will not put up with bad audio.
Yeah, your audio's got to be decent, and and even I realize that to a certain extent. But my problem in Jordan, being on radio for years and wearing big clumsy earphones with little mic wraparound mics, I got tired of. So this was my solution to getting away from making that complicated. But the way that these Blues are set up on your desk now, where you can get one that stands straight up or connected to the side of your desk and flop it around like a boom mic or whatever, is they're awesome. The quality is awesome.
Yeah. And for the price, I mean, I don't remember how much these are.
Right.
I'm about to tell you.
So while you're looking that up, I will tell people that if we do this workshop and get people involved for maybe like 3-hour session on a weekend or something, Jordan, where we actually go rent a room and invite everybody and have snacks and have some fun and just talk it out and show people what we do. StreamYard, this cost me a whopping $44 a month. Where can you go and get a free TV station for $44 a month and stream live to 3 destinations? Two main ones: YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook. Where can you go? Nowhere. You couldn't get a studio rate close to that.
Yeah, and the Blue microphones range from, looks like here, $89 for some of the higher quality ones.
That's awesome.
And on the cheaper end, $25.
Those used to be in the $250, $300 range in the good old days.
120 or 180 for this.
Yeah, technology is just amazing how cheap it's gotten, which is another reason people should think about getting their feet wet in this, because it didn't used to be this easy. Yeah. We were, to go back a little bit, and I've said this before, we were streaming back in 2002 through real players and different types of players. We were sending out a 320 by 240, a 240 by 320 thumbnail.
Yep.
And that could barely get through because there wasn't the bandwidth that we have today. So the whole thing, this is very automated. It's gotten it where it's really simple. So.
And Hurdie, there's something else too that you're probably going to do for our podcast, but you can then upload the audio to Spotify, right?
Oh yeah. So I wanted to build the channel first and keep, I didn't want to give people too many options. I wanted them to get them used to coming to YouTube, watching the show, commenting, and knowing that this was kind of the home base. Okay. Mm-hmm. But so I could download the audio literally. It's already in the universal MP3 form, so there's nothing that has to be done to that. I could put it into an editing and tighten it up a little, which I might do. I might not do. It just depends after I listen to it if I'm happy with it. Go over to Spotify, set up a free Spotify account, which is a podcast platform. Build your podcast, put your logos, whatever, your description, and then all you have to do is upload that audio with your first show, title, description, and then that Spotify gives you what they call a real simple syndicated feed, which is called RSS. It's a actual URL. You go share that to Apple, Google, whatever podcast platforms are out there, and it automatically places it as a feed on all those other places, which you'll have to go back in and update and put descriptions. But the bottom line is it actually shares those out. So you could have the audio going out all over the place. People going on Apple.
So doing it on Spotify, then are you going to show up on the Apple podcast list?
Yeah, you will if you submit it, the RSS feed. There's a link, you send it to Apple. Now, I will tell you, Apple's really picky about the size of the logo. So everything needs to be 1400 by 1400 that you upload. Like our Mansfield, if we were to put Mansfield, we want to make sure we created a 1400 by 1400 nice graphic, because that's going to be what gets shared out. But you all should do is submit it and then tell them it's clean. Tell them it's not naughty. Tell them it's clean content, and they'll approve it within 24 hours. And then once they do that, every time you upload to Spotify, it automatically goes to these local directories. Sound.
So are we a clean show?
Yes, we're a clean show.
Oh, shit.
We were. We were to just 1 second ago. No, I think you know the rules online, that there's certain content you're not going to be able to post, and I think that's what they're really checking. You couldn't get into violence and all that stuff that goes along with it.
I mean, sometimes people listen to podcasts around little ones, and
yeah. It's so you would deem it to be clean.
As a parent, I just make sure I'm not listening to one that has the E next to it, and
yeah, exactly. And so, but yeah, so I could take the audio, and by the way, because StreamYard saves just the audio portion of the show and gives me an option to download both, which I do for backup, but the audio is already separated from the video part, so I don't have to go back and do a conversion.
Yeah, and a little bit of a tip, if you want to do a quick audio fix up, like I'm not an audio engineer, nor do I pretend to be one. It's
right.
Audio, it's its own discipline, and you can get really, really in depth with it. But to get you like, I don't know, 60 to 80% of the way there, believe it or not, you can drop your audio track onto CapCut. And if you actually have the paid version, which is $120 a month.
Yep, love CapCut.
Yeah, no, and it's so much cheaper than like all this Adobe Suite products that I use that are
agreed
to use. That's $60 a month to just put in perspective. And CapCut is $120 for the year, and I think for the first 3 years you still get it for like $80. It's phenomenal.
Yeah,
it has a setting in it that you could do enhance audio to studio quality. You literally just click it. It sounds amazing. I don't know what it does. I don't know how it does it, but it just sounds great every time.
Yeah, it does. And here's the thing about AI tools: you can go broke. Your monthly fees can add up. You want to do a trial run, and then sure, okay. So
let's take a little tangent. So what do you think would be what would you say is like a business basic AI toolkit?
That I'll give you mine, then you give me yours.
Okay,
fair enough. All right. So in relationship for me, I use ChatGPT.
Mm-hmm.
I use Perplexity.
Mm-hmm.
And I love Notebook LM, Google's product. And I am just learning Gemini. And I've messed around with Copilot a little bit and found that just about all these across the board do about the same thing. Notebook LM is kind of an exception. It's a little bit different of like a note gathering place for teaching and education. I use Veed for our show for that one short, or I pull it straight off our tools on StreamYard, depending on what
StreamYard has its own AI that will go through it and pull a clip for you.
it will.
It's not there yet, but it's getting better.
It's getting better, and I think they're working at it because they realize they'd like to keep people using their tools, right? And giving them the credit.
Pull it up, upload it to another app. Like it.
Right.
It
I'm like you. I've experimented with several transcription sites. Auto. There's a bunch of them. Descript. You know, I've messed with that one a little bit, and I like them. And by the way, I've tested just about all these, and all of them are about the same. So don't let them tell you that one's better than the other. If you can get a transcription that's pretty accurate, this spells Hurdie Hurdie instead of Hurdy. It'd be really nice. but,
yes,
but they still struggle with some words, and because sometimes we're talking fast, and it has to do its best job, right? But overall, it's pretty good. And that's kind of my basics, you know, because I'm limited to my marketing with Google and YouTube. Mm-hmm. I'm always doing strategy sessions on all these, pulling them together with outlines for strategies with clients after it goes out and compiles the web, right? Like you do. I like to kind of compare those four with each other and kind of mix them together in my own words to present to a client. So I like the basics. You're probably deeper.
It's actually pretty similar to yours. I use ChatGPT. That's where I do my structuring. It's good at structuring information. I'm very free flowing in my thinking, so it gives me the counterpart to my creativity. It gives me some solid structure. I like it for that. And I use Fireflies for audio meeting capture. It's connected to my Google Meet and my Zoom. So it will pull transcripts from those. And I will also record. I mean, if you had a meeting with me, you know, I record all the meetings. And then I use it to transcribe it. It does not, like, to the best of my knowledge, it does not miss any words. It's remarkably accurate. And what I like about it, too, is it will give you some insights into the conversation, how much you talk versus how much does your client speak, overall sentiment of the conversation. And then it would allow me to download a transcript, and it'll give me a summary. The summary is great to remember what that was for, but then the transcript, I'll feed it to ChatGPT, so then I can clean it up even further, because I find that ChatGPT is still better at giving you a better summary.
Oh, absolutely. And you're probably further along with it than I am, because you just experiment. You play with these tools better. And you have more clients that would diversify, so you're always bringing in some cool stuff you always tell me about. I don't know what we do. Listen, I'm not a big fan of where it could go, right? Meaning, you know, when it starts getting in the way of humans connecting. But mm-hmm. From a tool, and I say this all the time, from a tool standpoint, forget about all that other stuff, that crazy stuff it could be used for, and just think about how it could help your business and focus on that, because it is a time saver. I can't tell you. It saves a ton of time, and it does tasks that would take you forever. People that used to have to, that would not start shooting video because number one, they didn't know what to do with it once they shot it on their camera. Well, guess what? The tools today can take care of that. All you have to do is download it and say, do this with it. Yeah. I'm serious. You know, the average person's missing out in business. And I say average, I mean people that don't think they have enough skills to do this, so they don't try.
Yeah.
You know, dig into one of these and just try. Go get a camera, shoot something on your phone, shoot it up to one of these free editing places, you know, and just say, make it rock.
Yeah.
And just see what comes out.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
You can try, what do you say it was, video?
What's that?
Video is the one you use?
I use Veed. Veed. And you can get the free version where they'll watermark it, but they also have the paid version, but they're no different from the rest of them. Okay. Whatever one you like the best, there's tons of them. You used a couple of them. You've got ones you like. So
yeah. I use Opus Clips,
right.
Veed. Everyone I've tried does about the same. You know, it does a pretty decent job at clipping things for you. It's not great, but it's not bad, right? It gives you a lot of volume.
For thinking about if you had to strip out a vertical and take it and make it vertical and at the time, then it's really great. But did they come out exactly perfect? Meaning maybe the quality is not up to your expectations. Yeah, a little, but you know what? It serves the purpose.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
They're going to get better. They're going to get better.
Yeah. You talked about the package that we offer for shorts afterwards, and one of the reasons so what we typically do is 3 hand cut videos and 10 AI videos, and the reason we do that, or I mean, I still think the hand cut videos are better.
I do too.
We're not at the point where you can just beat out what you could do by hand, but it gives you a lot of volume, and sometimes that's, you know, it is a quality thing, but sometimes the volume really does go a long way, especially when you're first starting a channel. You need to have consistency, keep putting it out there, and it can help you do that because it's so easy to get burned out. And all these tools that just simplify the process can help you achieve so much more in less time.
And I tell people, Jordan, all the time, if you're not having fun, don't do something.
Yes.
You know, I mean, if something's become just a task and you're not enjoying it, then don't do it. Back in the day, I used to edit all the time. Well, guess what? I can't stand it. So, and I'm not going to do it. Right. So, I mean, I'm just saying, if you quit enjoying a task, then find something else that you do like to do to make it work. Right. And so for a lot of people that aren't doing video yet, and by the way, the last statistics I saw on YouTube was only 9% of small businesses are on YouTube. Now that's staggering.
Yeah.
But those 9% that are on there use it all time.
You know, right? what I tell clients is creating content for social. And by the way, I think YouTube is social. Like sometimes people like try to exclude it. To me, YouTube is the social space.
Yeah.
But imagine how difficult it is to create video content. It takes work. It takes planning. It takes for you to get in front of it. It takes editing. It's a lot of work. It's difficult and it's nerve-wracking. So there's a high barrier of entry. If you start doing it, you're already like at the top 10% of the businesses. And that gives you a marketing advantage because there's so many people that are not willing to do it.
I couldn't have said that is an excellent point. And I tell people as much video as you see on YouTube and as much video as you see on TikTok and Reels and Facebook, you're not going to get covered up if you do it right and you understand localization and personalization of video, right? You're talking to your audience. You're interacting with them like we're doing today. You're having fun, right? You're not going to go wrong. You just aren't. And some of that video content can be tacky as crap, and some needs to be just darn right professional. It needs to be a mix of everything.
Yeah, balance.
You know,
and I was talking about that actually yesterday to a client. It was just understanding because there's been a wave of people saying like, you know, just grab your phone, just shoot some content, just speak it, and you'll be fine. Like that's all you need to do. And that's not the complete story.
No.
If you're going to be talking about, for example, let's say you have products, right? Products that you offer, or like a particular physical thing that goes with your service, you really want to do a good job on that one. Like you want it to look good.
Yeah, I agree.
Those you don't want to bust out your phone with a shaky camera and bad lighting. Like you want better quality content for that. And then when you're talking about what happens behind the scene, hold the phone and talk to it. People want to see that.
Yeah.
You got to have the contrasting, hey, I'm not working out of my garage. I'm a legitimate business. And a lot of legitimate business operate out of their garage. But still, you want to have a professional facing front and then also have some personality.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And I would tell everybody that in today's world, your business is really a publishing company. You just don't know it yet.
Yeah.
And so, this starts with the phone because you get excited and you start shooting some videos, and then you realize after looking around, it's kind of a stage, right? Okay, so maybe I need to make those shorts a little better, or maybe I need to have some higher end camera equipment. And so the addiction goes from handheld phone, iPhone maybe, to okay, I got to go buy that $500 video camera. Oh, and I need to have external mic, and I need to learn how to get a lavalier. But here's the deal:
You dropped a zero.
you don't do that overnight, right? You got to learn. What, Jordan?
No, so you dropped a zero on the camera. It's 5,000, not 500.
Well, what I know, but I'm saying that's your job, right? Those people don't. My point is, at that point, unless you're going to be a professional photographer or videographer, or you're going to go to school for it, that's when you bring in people like Jordan, because you don't have to buy the equipment, and you just pay a day rate, right, or half day rate, and you get this professional, cool content delivered to you. So, yeah, crazy. I love it. I can't retire.
That's a good
I
question.
have tried. It's impossible because the technology to me is just like, oh boy, there's something new coming out today. I've got to go try or go look at. And by the way, I'm not scared to try anything. That's another thing you've got to overcome.
Ooh, speaking of fear, something you got to try. I've been using this a lot lately, and it is incredible, and it's kind of scary how good it is. Go try Grok. That is.
Oh yeah, I was going to say, I was going to ask you if you've tried that yet on X. Have you tried it?
Grok so much.
I love it. And so what have you entered in? If you don't mind me asking, what have you been searching for on Grok? What did you go in and do on it?
I do my kind of like meta research with Grok.
Okay, gotcha.
Because Grok has access to all of the Twitter data. Well, now it's Twitter. So
that's just scary.
It's the only AI that can actually index an entire social media channel.
Right.
So when you want to analyze trends, spending habits, like everything and anything in a social channel, like I do all my testing and I do all my research with Grok, because Grok can actually go in there and pull the data for you and give you some really interesting research.
Yeah.
So go in there and
you got me want to get off and go open up and start typing it in, because I've been meaning to get to it, but as you know, we get busy. So
yeah, a lot of people like existential questions, which that's fun, but that's not really using the tool for its maximum capacity. Go in there instead and ask it, what is the typical like time where most people will reply a tweet?
Right.
Agreed. And it will give you great insights because it's actually looking through the data. All
right. We've been on, Jordan, an hour and 3 minutes.
We could just talk shop all day.
So hang on a sec. I want to do something here. I want to go to a banner first. I want to share this because I want to make sure we give our kudos to these guys right here. LibertyTaxDefenders.com. They are our exclusive sponsor. We love them. Yes. Brad, Wade, Brad, they are deep, and they help people with letters they get from the IRS. So you get one of those letters, you contact these guys. As a matter of fact, I think if you don't mind, Jordan, because we missed it earlier, I'm going to go ahead and play this right now. So sit tight. Well, maybe.
With the IRS's position.
There we go.
What are my options?
Well, you can tell them to pound sand, which so few people do this. Don't just agree. They're wrong so often. You have rights. You can appeal it. The appeal must be made within 30 days of the date that the IRS has made a determination. You file a formal notice of appeal and you present your case before appeals. And they consider how much is it going to cost the IRS to go to court. At the end of the day, what's another 12 to 18 months if you save yourself 50 grand in the long run, which is, I think that's being conservative.
All right. So Liberty Tax Defenders is really cool. Yeah. Pound sand, right? Yeah. So Jordan, you got to do us a favor. First of all, we want to thank our listeners for being on. We are now booked through, I got one more week left in April. the last week, and I'm going to start on May. We've got some pretty exciting guests coming in that guys, we want you to listen to these podcasts because these are businesses you can use for your own services. I know Jordan and I both have used a lot of these folks for services, right? Simply because we've gotten to know, number one is business, number two, friends, probably friends first, business second, but it's worked out really well. So Jordan, you got to do me a favor because you just cracked me up today, man. You've got to go back to your media library over here, and we're just going to sit here and be quiet. And then when the song's over, we'll take you out. So we'll see you next Thursday at 2:00. Jordan went out and because I didn't hear it till today. So y'all dig this. If you missed this at the very beginning of the show, crank it up. Crank it up.
Welcome to Mansfield Buzz, Jordan Hurdie in the mix, spotlighting local stories, every episode's a fix, unearthing unique gems, what makes them shine. Tune in, get ready, we're diving into their grind. With Jordan's questions, we reveal what's at the core. Hurdie's tech wizardry, bringing stories to the fore. Together we create, start showcasing what's unique. Mansfield Buzz, where content creation sleek. Calling all business owners and customers to the scene. Discover authentic gems, find the best you've ever seen. Meet the faces behind each unique space. Trust in their stories, find community in this place.
I love it. Keep it up loud, you guys. Thank you. Jordan and I love to have fun and do this and ad-lib and talk. We hope we didn't bore you to death, but even if we did, we don't care because this is the Mansfield Buzz covering Mansfield business. All right, guys. Jordan, we'll see y'all next week. Bye.